My word, it's been a long day. It's nearly midnight, Friday night. Long day at work, and then the journey into North Wales for an adventure in the morning. So I'm going to get some sleep, and then I'll see you in the morning and explain what we're going to be getting up to. Right, I need to get myself up and move the van down the road so I can get myself sorted, get out for first light. Good morning. What a morning. Welcome to episode 31 of Rudolph's Mountains. It's a beautiful day at the end of November. Got a great forecast for today. There's a little bit of cloud around, but hopefully it'll clear. We've had having a beautiful sunrise, and the first top on today's list is Pen Yr Ole Wen, and there's another load to do depending on how I'm feeling and what the conditions are like. Been quite icy underfoot so far. Setting off this morning, I was mindful of the motto: be bold, start cold. And then I saw the layer of ice on the water outside the van, and I thought, don't be silly, you'll get chilly. And so I put some more layers on, and inevitably now I'm going up steeply. I'm melting. I know when I get it on the tops, there are some very long undulating ridges to do, and they're going to be cold. So I've got 27,000 layers in my bag, just in case. Done this walk many times before. First time I've filmed it on my own. Last time I came, it was absolutely roasting. I think I actually wore shorts, which is a very rare thing for me. I thought by setting out in the dark I'd have the place to myself initially, but alas no, there's 2 groups ahead of me, some behind me, and so how much filming I'll do without feeling like a knob remains to be seen. What a morning. Wow, that's the worst of the scramble done. It's had a scary moment where one of my feet slipped on the ice and one of my hands slipped off the rock, so my 4 points of contact became 3, then 2, and luckily the other 2 held and I didn't fall. But it's a reminder of just how careful you've got to be. Wow, God, it's gorgeous. Right, let's crack on. First appearance of the sun today. Beautiful, beautiful. Can't get enough of sunrises and sunsets. I'm getting to the point almost where I want to try and have at least one of those in every walk. Although it's not very practical. Dear me. Good grief. I'm not making great progress because I just keep stopping to take photos of the sunrise. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. What's the view? Just beautiful. Whew. I tell you, that wind is absolutely freezing. Wind chill of -10 this morning. Luckily we've been in the shelter on the lee of the mountain for most of the walk, but every now and again the wind pops out to say hello and it's absolutely freezing. Gonna need loads of layers when we get on the top. Right, we're getting close to the top and there's a thin layer of cloud skirting over it and I can feel that biting wind already, so I'm going to stop here and get a windproof layer on before I get into that more exposed area. Wow, here we go, the top of Pen Yr Ole Wen. Wow, atmospheric, absolutely gorgeous. I'm not going to linger. You can see where we're heading next, that ridge over there. So I'm gonna crack on so I don't get cold, and because the walk today is a big one if I do all of it, and time is going to be of the essence. Been over Carnedd Dafydd. It was cloudy up there, so I didn't film too much. The next one is called Foel Meirch. Right, that was a not fun. There's a big steep boulder field behind me there. Everything coated in ice. Very tricky to get down. So once I get over to Foel Meirch, I'll have a look across to see if there's a better route back, because that was a little bit treacherous. Welcome to the top of Foel Meirch. Wow, if I'd known it was going to be that difficult with that boulder field over there, covered in ice. I probably wouldn't have bothered. I saved it for a summer's day when it had been a very different proposition. But what a stunning, stunning spot it is. Well worth coming over here. It must be just barely a Nuttall because it only just climbs a little bit from the brook down there. But what a view, what a view. Oh, I'm doing okay. That's where I've come from over there. I just skated across in the direction of Pen Yr Ole Wen, and I've climbed. I've got to get reclaimed 200 meters, and I've done over 100 on grass. Steep was so much better than those slippery boulder fields. So I've got another 100 meters to go till I'm back at the top of Carnedd Dafydd. So I shall see you up there shortly. Up to 970 meters now, 1044 at the top. So doing okay, and I've managed to avoid the boulder fields altogether by pushing way out to the right when you leave Foel Meirch. Back at the top of Carnedd Dafydd with beautiful views this time. Next stop, Carnedd Llewelyn. No rest for the wicked. Right, the ridge between Carnedd Dafydd and Carnedd Llewelyn is absolutely gorgeous. Let me turn around and show you. Really busy now. There's people all over the place. So I do feel like a bit of a prat talking to myself. Getting closer, but this ridge between Carnedd Dafydd and Carnedd Llewelyn is long. Over behind me there, that's Pen Yr Ole Wen. And that's the way we're coming down later. We can either drop down to the reservoir and follow the road out if it's getting close to going dark, or we can go up onto the top of Pen Yr Ole Wen and then down the grass, which should be probably a nicer walk out. Right, I've got a decision coming up. In about 5 minutes time I'm going to meet the bypass path that bypasses Carnedd Llewelyn and goes up the Elen. So I need to decide whether I'm going to do the Elen or not. Right, I don't know if you can pick up the bypass path on the camera there. It's just got contours around to the Elen. I think I'm going to do that. When I was getting back up to the top of Carnedd Dafydd, I was so tired I thought I might skip the Elen, but the bypass path is empty. So that's the way I'm going to go, just because there's nobody on it. Right, I'm on the bypass path, bypassing Carnedd Llewelyn, and you know, Carnedd Dafydd from this side could possibly be the most spectacular mountain in Wales. Look at this. Stunning, absolutely stunning. Had to climb a fair bit to bypass that little rocky outcrop. You've got to go above it rather than below it. Oh my god. Here we go, top of, I've been down a bit. Well, this is a bit exposed. Welcome to the top of the Elen. Wow, it's gorgeous. Oh, I can't stay up here, it's terrifying. Oh, it's better. I was getting a bit of vertigo then. Wow. You can see Better Back and Better Mile behind me, and a clip more. Oh. And over there is Carnedd Llewelyn, which is actually clear of the cloud for the first time today. I wonder whether it'll stay that way so we can get back up there. Oh, what a stunning spot. Right, because I've got the summit to myself for 5 minutes, there's another group on its way up. I can quickly get Daisy out for a summit tour, and then we'll have something to eat. So Daisy, over to you, sausage. Thank you, Daisy. Right, let's find somewhere quiet to sit and have something to eat. Right, I was going to stop and have something to eat, but with Carnedd Llewelyn being clear at the moment, if I sat down for half an hour and had some lunch and then looked up and saw it was clouded over again, I'd be a little disappointed. So I'm going to postpone my lunch for half an hour and see if we can hurtle to the top of Carnedd Llewelyn first. It is stunning. Well, that was the top of Carnedd Llewelyn. Typically by the time we got there, the cloud was back and it's dropped quite low now. Oh dear. So I'm dropping down towards Pen Yr Ole Wen. As soon as I'm out the cloud, I'm going to find somewhere at the wind and stop and have something to eat, because I'm starving, Marvin. Right, I've had my lunch. Ooh, it's cold now. I'm gonna get my gear back on again, and then I think I'm just gonna take the reservoir road. I've got a bit of a scramble to do off the end of this ridge, and then steep path down to the reservoir, and then it's a long march back to the van from there. But oh, I'm tired, really tired. So let's crack on. Let's get down towards the scramble, and I'll pick you up again there. Wow, look at this for a drop off. What a beautiful valley that is. I've been down there a few times. I didn't think we've done it on Rudolph yet. That's maybe one to add to the list. Wow, well, it's been a fantastic day. It's a very long way back to stand the van here, and it's all down tarmac road, so I'm not going to film that. I'm sure that's something you can do without watching. So I'm going to end the video here. I've really enjoyed the day. I'm going to have to come back and do Carnedd Llewelyn another time because cloud plunked itself on top of that one, but the others were great. So hopefully I've got some good footage. Go to the GoPro has been a nightmare today. Only bought one battery, and even though it's showing almost full, the camera's cutting out constantly, so it's been driving me nuts. But never mind. Hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. I'll be more.